Hey guys, how's it going? Today, I'm going to be featuring the Mogador, the Tier 8 French destroyer. Now, this ship is pretty much a similar comparison to the Kleber. It's much less like the Fantasque because, well, this ship has torpedoes that are only 6 kilometers in range. So, the limited range of your torpedoes, you are very much an ambush destroyer instead of a torpedo boat. You can obviously use the torpedo commander to extend your torpedo range just a little bit. However, with the increasing amount of CVs and the amount of radar cruisers, especially with players starting to finally unlock the Midway and Hakuryu, there is going to be a lot more CVs, and well, this destroyer without smoke, it's going to be difficult to really get close to any of the ships that you would possibly like to torpedo. Now, this ship can also be built for a gunboat build, although it's not quite as effective as building it for an ambush destroyer using go all out in order to get some extremely good concealment. Here I get outspotted, and well, I do end up using go all out to disappear, and I do end up finding the enemy Mogador that was outspotting me, and I do use the main battery reload booster in order to try and kill him as quickly as possible. Seeing that he only has 3 bars, it makes me think that he is using the torpedo commander instead of using a, say, gunboat build, so his main battery reload is obviously not as quick as mine when I am building for guns. And with a little bit of help from our teammates, we are able to kill him off extremely quickly. Now we just simply reposition to the A cap where we know there is also another destroyer because, well, this objective is captured without anything being spotted. The only other destroyer that was on the other team is a Udachi, so we did definitely want to use our reload booster for the enemy Mogador because that was the only ship that really threatened our DPM and probably would have traded with us a decent amount. This Republic is coming around the corner of this island, and we are unspotted because go all out is, well, kind of busted. So we do have a 4.8 kilometer detection, which lets us stealth torpedo this enemy battleship. And, well, getting into these positions where they're least expecting it and ambushing ships is pretty much what you want to be trying to do in these ships. With the enemy Republic pushing into that smoke screen that was set by the Udachi, I am hoping to land some dual-purpose torps and possibly hitting the enemy destroyer and getting a double strike. The Republic just kept sailing in a straight line, and well, we are going to land enough torpedoes in order to kill him off. Our go all out does run out, however, at this point, the enemy Udachi is so close, and we do know where he is, so running him down is definitely not going to be an issue. We are also located, so we do know we are the closest to the enemy ship, which means we can look at the minimap and sort of determine that he is still in his smoke. So we want to try and get as close as we can in order to spot him before he leaves or his smoke runs out. We do want to be careful with that enemy Brandenburg pushing around the side. With him behind the island, we can afford to keep chasing and gunboating. However, as soon as he gets around the corner, we do need to start turning away. With him at the edge, we do launch torpedoes and turn away in order to minimize our profile. And hopefully he does end up missing us and we basically mitigate the amount of damage that happens to us. With all of our torpedoes on the way, he is trying to slow down, with our friendly carrier dropping him as well. This Brandenburg is definitely in a lot of trouble. He is focusing his secondaries and shooting at me, although I do go unspotted. And, well, he is now on a permaflood with his engine out. Seeing that he's flooding, and we know that he doesn't have a damage con, we do want to start shooting at him with our main battery and essentially try to have him die much quicker. Our first salvo, we do end up setting him on fire, and after this last salvo, he is definitely going to go down. Now we have killed off 2 enemy ships. We're at 100,000 damage, and well, we're about to secure another cap. All the enemy ships that are remaining, aside from this Alabama, are pretty much on the other side. So we're going to pretty much just start heading that way. There is still an enemy CV in this game, so it's going to be definitely difficult to try and put ourselves in a position to torpedo any of the other ships, especially with the enemy CV last seen heading to that side. We do know his planes will be coming from that area and possibly flying over the ships that are coming from that seaside. I'm just gonna fast forward here a bit just because, well, we are just heading to the other side without anything really happening. Now, the Mogador, I do think, is definitely a very good destroyer. It is very heavily reliant on the main battery reload booster when it comes to fighting other destroyers. And, well, it's also heavily reliant on go all out if you are trying to torpedo anything, because, well, the torpedo range is so short that if you want to try and stealth torp anything, you need to have go all out, or be using the torpedo boat commander and using torpedo safari. Unfortunately, as I predicted, with the CV coming from the other side, he just simply spots us. And, well, with us stuck here, we do want to try and put ourselves in a spot where nothing can really shoot at us and kill us at such a close range. That enemy Ibuki is fairly close, and he was just slightly out of range when I was looking at the torpedoes in order to figure out where he was going. With the enemy Saipan dropping me, I don't want to really launch any torps just yet because, well, at this point, they are just going to be spotted immediately. However, this Ibuki is getting close to the corner, so at some point I might need to just launch them anyway in order to slow down the Ibuki and try my best to escape. Knowing that the Kleber has some pretty insane AP penetration, I do switch to AP for this Ibuki that is coming around the corner fairly broadside. It's pretty easy to Citadel IJN cruisers with the Kleber, so I'm somewhat expecting more of the same. I shoot a salvo. Unfortunately, no Citadels, although we do get pens and we are able to kill the Ibuki before he's able to come around the corner and do any sort of damage to us. Now that we are pushing to the C cap and we know the CV is somewhere over here, I am trying to turn off my AA and trying to stay undetected and not give away my location as much as possible. As soon as I get spotted and turn on my AA, the Saipan does try to drop, but it's far too late and, well, he simply overshoots. Now I am just simply trying to find the enemy Saipan, which I do. However, the enemy CV torp planes are still coming in and they are going to be dropping from behind me. I just need to try my best to survive and close the distance with the Saipan so I can just simply torpedo and dev strike him from the game. There is an enemy Amalfi, and I am still curious at how good this AP penetration is, because you could technically Citadel a Minotaur at max range with the Kleber's AP. Unfortunately, our AP is shattering on the Amalfi's Citadel belt, so we definitely can't Citadel him from about 9 kilometers. The enemy Saipan is turning into the border, so we know he does not have a whole lot of room to escape now, and well, the Mogador is definitely extremely quick, so we are definitely going to be able to close the distance with him. All we need to do is just simply dodge as many of the torpedoes and bombs as possible because, well, the Saipan does not actually have secondaries, so at this point he is pretty much in trouble and he is not going to get away. And really, as long as we dodge his squadrons, we will not die, and, well, there's not really anything that he can do. We just need to keep turning into the torpedoes and also turning broadside to bombs, although he has not yet used any bombs. He gets absolutely nuked by our friendly ships that are still pushing to the flank, and we land 2 torpedoes, killing him off. We are able to do 124,000 damage, and, well, we also do 3,500 base XP with 4 kills. Unfortunately, 1 short of a Kraken, which probably was that Mogador in the beginning. Now, I definitely think the Mogador is very good. However, it is very similar to the Kleber, and with the credit earning of tier 8 not being that great, what is the difference in really playing the Kleber over the Mogador? I'm pretty sure you will just simply do much better in the Kleber compared to the Mogador. So it's a bit tough to say that this ship is worth it. It's somewhat like the main if you have the Montana, and somewhat like the Temerary, the British battleship, when you have something like the Conqueror. It's just one of those ships that if you have the legendary version, it just simply doesn't make nearly as much sense to play or even purchase, since it is 25 million credits. If legendary ships were part of the tech tree instead of being a login bonus, then obviously it would make a lot more sense in order for you to play it, because then it's more like a progression rather than just some separate thing entirely. Going over the build, I have a gunboat build. I do use that turret traverse in that first slot because the turret traverse is pretty bad, but other than that, this ship will do just fine. Anyway, that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave a like and subscribe for more, and leave a comment down below for any other ships you want to see in the future. But until next time, aloha.